When this began happening, no one expected Gamergate to last as long as it was lasting. People were pouring their all into digging up proof of collusion, spreading the word, and creating a dialogue on Twitter. While this was all happening, literally Who and her goons were shilling on 4chan, trying to confuse the issue and distract the focus away from Silverstring Media, our huge lead at the time, and corruption in games journalism. There was a lot of tension at the start, and with the fear that the movement could die the next day, there was no concept of managing your energy levels. People burned out, and they burned out hard, with no confidence that the movement would be there when they came back to it. As cogs within the machine that is Gamergate, I'm sure we've all seen burnout posts. There have been so many, actually, that some people have begun seeing them as shill posts, trying to destroy the morale of Gamergate. They might be right. There could be a number of anti-GGers trying to seed the idea of hopelessness and despair. But if there's even a chance that these posts are genuine, that as we move into our third month more people are finding that they can't keep up the battle, then I think we need to speak to that. Yesterday, I saw an Anon make a post on 8chan about how worn down they've been by the misogyny narrative that the opposition has leveled against us. Despite not hating women and loving games for what they are, the constant stream of unfettered bile and hatred got to him. He couldn't handle living a life where people thought he hated women for his hobby. He'd realized that he'd invested everything emotionally into Gamergate, and in his eyes, at that moment, the fight was lost. He was going to drop his hobby so he wouldn't be seen as some sort of demon, and he wasn't even sure how much longer he'd go on living afterward. This response is for him. I understand, Ob. Fighting is hard. I don't blame you for having to stop. I deal with the doubt and fear as well. When you're forced to live in a world that doesn't accept you, I really don't think anyone can blame you for opting out of that world. But here's the thing. You will continue to exist after you've given in. And in that existence, you will remember the choice you made and what you're living with now. If you choose to give up, then that choice will hang around your neck like a lodestone. And if you give up and Gamergate ends and this opportunity is lost, you lose your chance to remove that lodestone. All it will be, all you choose to ever let it be, is another moment in your life where you said, no, I can't do this. I'm not strong enough. The weight of that choice isn't made by the circumstances that you faced, but rather by your acceptance of your own weakness. And even if you are serious in saying that you're past the point of living, you will walk to your final moment, carrying the crushing weight of that choice with you. It does not have to be this way. You can choose to fight. You can choose to never let the world force you to bend your knee. It's going to be hard. I know you might hate it. The world can be a difficult and disgusting place, filled with negativity and spite. I'm not going to tell you that life will get better, that we'll win, or that any of this matters. But I do know this. Choosing to keep fighting will also stay with you. We might all lose, but if we keep going and lose, then we'll know that when the world was against us, we didn't back down. We'll know that when nothing but negativity and hatred was heaped on us like grave dirt on coffins, we clawed our way up. If you choose to keep fighting, that decision will always shine within you as a symbol of your uncompromising strength and determination. That will stay with you for your entire life, because it's your choice, and no one can take that away from you. If you decide to keep going and die tomorrow, you will go to your death knowing that when faced with the worst that life could throw at you, you stared back and said, bring it. Advancement comes in waves. We're not going to be on a steady and consistent stream of victories and getting advertisers to pull out and successes in unearthing new evidence of journalistic corruption. We will be mired in the mud, and then burst forward when an opportunity presents itself. Then, after the opposite side figures out how to rationalize our victory as not a loss for them, we'll be back to waiting in the muck, waiting for the next big critical failure to be exploited. Now stand up, dust yourself off, and help us send some emails.